Hello and welcome to yet another live session. In this session, we are going to discuss about a very powerful sector which is coming on my screen. And after many years, a significant event has happened in this particular sector. If you are ready for this sector, just type ready in the comment box and let's get started. I'll share my screen. I'll tell you first the reason why I got interested in this particular sector, right? So the sector which we are going to talk about is called automobile sector. And this is one of the largest sector in India, So what happened suddenly was in my screen, which I track like in terms of price and volume action. You can see like so many companies in auto industry, automobile suppliers that started coming and it started becoming green every single day in my screen. And that is where I got interested and saw that, what's happening. And couple of days back, I was just seeing this chart of automobile industry, and if you see on the daily chart, it is like broken month high, and on weekly chart it is like going into all-time high territory. In fact, as we speak, let me just move my this cursor to the left so that you can see the chart. As we see, it has actually crossed the last resistance which was there, and officially it has entered into all-time high territory. Okay, so this is where I thought, something interesting is happening in this sector, and why not, analyze this sector so that we can make maximum benefit out of it. And as we are speaking, we have just like this sector is just getting broken out and, showing traction. Okay, so if you are all ready to analyze and understand this particular sector, let's dive in and let's go deeper into it. Yeah. Awesome. So in this sector analysis, what we are going to do initially is to understand what is the deep dive analysis which is required to understand any particular sector. Then we will try to understand, different components in this auto industry. What are all the, entire value chain and how we can understand this. And later on, we will go deeper and I'll give you some of the interesting stock ideas which are coming on my screen and which are like really good in terms of analyzing further. So that's what we are going to do. If you don't know me, I am Vivek Mashrani and I am a TechnoFunda Investing specialist. And in last 15 years, I've been investing into the markets, and last 3 years, I've built a community. More than 5,000 people are learning with me and growing their capital and portfolio returns along with me. So that's me. And let's get started with first part of this segment, where we are going to learn about the entire scenario of how to do a sector analysis. If you have learned some of my previous sector analysis like chemical sector or sugar sector or API, you might know the basic framework. But this is what I do for each and every sector so that it can be effectively tracked and monitored. Okay. So take a lot of notes during this session because this is going to be very powerful. My, generally sector analysis and all these kind of serious videos which I do, although it's fun and learning, but I don't like to give a very superficial understanding. I want to slightly go deep dive so that you can get maximum out of this particular session. Okay, so let's deep dive and understand the auto sector analysis. Okay, so there are three things which you need to know when it comes to analyzing any sector. Okay, you can just note this down, and I share this with my community members also, where we have an industry analysis blueprint module. We also cover this part, which is a foundation of any sector analysis. So the first thing which we need to learn is whether the sector is having a long-term profitability. And if you think about auto sector and relate it with, it is huge wealth creator in Indian context, and the Indian auto industry is actually one of the top 5 automobile industry, not just in Asia but across the world. And in India, it contributes like almost 7% of GDP. So it's a significant growth driver of the economy and an engine of economy. And if you see last several years, we have like so many automobile companies which has become 50x, 100x, and they have been wealth creator and still continues to be. Okay, so that's why this particular sector actually meets the growth, profitability and reinvestment opportunity criteria. And as we speak, the entire EV space is picking up, where a lot of reinvestment opportunities are happening, and this sector is picking up a lot of traction in those direction. Now, second thing which you need to learn is identifying a lot of profit pools or subsectors within this entire value chain. And today in the stock ideas also I'll explain that, and next slide when we go into value chain, I'll also explain where to find these pockets of profitable pools. Because each and every industry, there are some small components or some niche companies which are making insanely high profits. And if you are able to ride those kind of companies, it can make a lot of money for you. And the third thing, which is spotting existing trends, like as I said, the automobile industry is like in a long-term trend where it is growing continuously. That is one, spotting like a mega trend. The second thing is spotting emerging trend. Like EV is an emerging trend, and you can actually spot a lot of opportunities because of the shifts that are happening. There are other shifts also which are happening. I'll tell you about it in this particular session itself. So if you are able to take advantage of these shifts very early on, and that's why, as soon as the breakout is happening and all these price volume action is happening in the sector, I'm sharing with all of you so that you can take advantage at a very early stage. Okay, if you are finding this valuable so far, just type valuable in the comment box. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn. Okay, next let's go into the entire value chain. Okay, each and every sector, it may be airline industry, it could be automobile industry, it could be chemical industry. Any industry has an entire value chain, or you can even tell that as a supply chain. Okay, so basically what does that mean? Okay, that means that there are different components. Let me just put a laser pointer, or it's fine, I think we can, yeah. So every industry has a main product manufacturer. So like in automobile case, you might have a two-wheeler manufacturer, three-wheeler manufacturer, or four-wheeler manufacturer. But to have that in place, you need an entire ecosystem which is supporting that entire production unit. Okay, and that's where you see the back end of this entire thing. Like if you see like a car assembly line, you might see a OEM which is just assembling that components, but then there is an entire chain behind it. Okay, so what you need to understand is this entire value chain, how it is contributing. Okay, so this value chain is super important, because not just the car, but everywhere else, there are different players who are supplying different components in this sector. Okay, so you need to understand who are the other manufacturer in this sector. So say for example, in automobile, you have chassis manufacturer, engine manufacturer, wiring, mirror, fuel system, and there might be multiple tiers of suppliers even within these manufacturers also. So that is what is the value chain. And then these components might be given by steel manufacturer, and steel manufacturer might be getting a lot of raw material from the mines. And on the other hand, you have dealers and distributors who are distributing these finished product, and then we are the end users. Okay, so that is how the entire value chain is configured. If you have understood so far, just type understood in the comment box so that I know you are following it. Now, in terms of automobile sector, there are multiple ways to play this sector. Okay, so the first component of this entire sector is two-wheeler, and two-wheeler is a huge market in India. I think almost 80% of the entire market in terms of number of units, I think, is two-wheeler in the entire automobile sector. The second is passenger vehicles. All your bigger vehicles which you see which carries passengers, that is your passenger vehicles. Then you have commercial vehicles, which is all the commercial trucks and all those vehicles. Then you have three-wheelers, auto rickshaw and other three-wheelers, and you have a lot of ancillary plays. So as I showed you in the value chain, you have a lot of players who are putting tires, bulb and rear mirrors and all those ancillary plays. And then you have proxy plays. So it might not be direct component of automobile industry, but it could be an indirect component. Say for example, a financing company who is financing all the auto buying. Okay, say likes of what kind of companies which we have, I think, in this Cholamandalam, right? So we have Cholamandalam Investment Finance, who is financing buying of the vehicles. So if the buying of commercial vehicles or these automobile goes up, then these lenders also may benefit. Okay, so these kind of proxy plays are also there, and one or two examples we will cover in this particular session also. Okay, so that is the broad framework what we are learning in today's session. So just to recap, first we have understood what are the components we should be looking at for long-term growth, sectoral mega trends. And then we look for niche companies which are compounding and having profit pools in their favor. And then we see where the trends are changing. Okay, where the trends are changing, which is super important in this journey. Okay, so let's first talk about some of these trends which are happening and how it is happening. And in fact, I have an entire framework which I'm showing you, and all these companies will try to, do this in the framework. Okay, so let me share the screen and show it to you. What are the key triggers right now, or the trend which are picking up in this particular sector? So knowing the trend is super important. Unless you don't know what are the different trends that is going on and what is the tailwind in a particular sector, it's of no use. Okay, so the first mega trend which is going on, or the trigger which is going on, is the exports are picking up. If you see the export data of automobile, like versus 2018 and 19, excluding even the COVID year, we have grown by like 20-30% in multiple segments in this particular sector. Okay, so that is the first thing. Second thing which is happening is the China plus one, which happened in chemicals, which happened in APIs. And if you have not watched my chemical sector video, I would highly recommend all of you to watch it. It's a detailed video. I did it in 2018, but still very, very relevant to understand this China plus one. And the same thing is happening in automobile in a very, very early stage. So a lot of players in Europe and US are diversifying their supply chain from China and moving towards India. Okay. The second thing, the change thing which I explained, you remember in the initial part of this video, I told you need to find where are the disruptions and change that is happening and where are the emerging opportunities. So that is where the EV theme is picking up, and this entire sector is undergoing reset. Okay, so the entire sector is getting disrupted because of EV. The old players are getting challenged, and the new players who are, very quick in taking action and, implementing the right strategy, they are getting advantage. Okay, so that is the second thing which is happening. The third thing which is very important is the PLI scheme. So the Indian government has done amazing stuff. I discussed that in my, API video also last year in 2020 when I did. And that was very initial stage of that PLI scheme. This is a fantastic scheme which is helping a lot of players in different industry, not just automobile, but chemicals, electronics, and lot other industries where they have strategically incentivized all these sectors to compete against global players, and that has been really working well. And apart from that, there is pent-up demand, right? Because of COVID, there was a lot of pent-up demand that was there, and now that is also emerging, and our GDP is also started to grow again. So these are like triggers which you should monitor. Now what we'll do is, I'll show you the framework which I use, and a lot of you who are part of my community who would know we have done a detailed deep dive, and we have a lot of case studies on this. But just to give an overview, I use this formula called machine formula. Okay, so I am a mechanical engineer, and I relate with machines and everything. Still, it's still my DNA. So that's where I've created this formula where M, we look for mega trends and mega tailwinds, which I showed you. Then we look for price volume action, which I showed you initially, that there was change in price volume action in this particular sector, and that triggered interest for checking this sector. The third is competitive advantages, and we'll discuss some of the case studies during this session also, where we'll learn about some of the competitive advantage with some of the companies which are super powerful and they've been growing like crazy. Then we have high quality improvements in the company, new things, new triggers, and execution of all these earnings growth. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss the framework in this entire session when we are discussing all the stock ideas. And if you're not familiar with this, and if you want to know them deeper, I have one dedicated chapter for each and every component in my book. Okay, so you can go and check it out. You can just go to Amazon and type "You Can Compound Vivek Mashrani," and you will be able to find out my book. You will be able to get a lot of these pointers in my book also. Okay, now let's come to the companies which are very powerful in this sector. Okay, so the first company is Eicher Motors. Do you want to know what are the triggers? Just type yes in the comment box and let's discuss this. Okay, and take a lot of notes, because what I will be sharing with you, it's refined way of whatever research I've done and gone deeper into these companies, and then I've brought out the crux of some of the powerful triggers which are coming inside this company. So this is not like a superficial discussion we are doing. Actually, we have done a lot of deep dive into this, and then whatever cream of that entire analysis is there, that is what I'm sharing with all of you guys, right? So the first company is our bullet bike company. What is the bullet bike company? That's our Eicher Motors. Okay, so This company, the main trigger is, the launches of new bike. Okay, and it has been monopoly into its sector. Okay, so they've launched recently a revamped model of classic 350, which was a Royal Enfield a classic model, which was a very popular model. They launched in 2008-9, but now they have revamped it and they have like launched it again. So that is a very, very big trigger. And this company, it continues to dominate the 250 to 750 cc space with around 90% market share. Okay, in the space of about 250 space. So in the premium biking and high cc biking, there is literally no competition. There was Java bike which came, but it was initially making some noise, but now it is not that popular. So this company has been dominant in the space without any significant competition, and they continuously launch new models, evolve, innovate, make their product better and better. And it's headed by a very intelligent fanatic management called Siddharth in this company. Okay, Siddharth Lal. So let me show you what again interested me in the charts also. Okay, so Eicher Motor, if you see, in this kind of market, like when we are discussing this, you might be watching this later also, but if you see in this kind of market, let me just show the smaller time frame chart, it's almost making new highs. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that the sector is very powerful in terms of tailwinds, and this company is showing super strength. When market is going down, this company is actually like making new highs. And this is like a very, very important sign to find future leaders. And it is also forming a base. Like if you are not familiar too much with technicals and all those things, it's perfectly fine. If you want to learn, you can always learn inside my community. But these are the powerful things which we look for. That not only fundamentally it's a monopoly company, but technically also it's showing relative strength, and it's almost making new highs. Okay, so that is the first thing. Now let me share the slide again and let's go deeper. Now, one more powerful thing which it is doing, it's taking this Indian company global. So they have a vision of, taking on the Harley Davidson. Okay, so yeah, so Udipta is asking, let me just pop up the question of Udipta. So Udipta is asking, that if the market share is all, just let me pull up this comment. Are you able to see this, guys? So Udipta is asking, the market share is already 90%, then there is no scope. Okay. So the answer to this is basically what they are trying to do now is they are trying to foray into international business. So they are basically trying to compete with where Harley Davidson was. And this is an aspiring market. Okay. So the underlying, they are not able to take the market share, but the underlying growth or the volume of that industry itself is growing, because lot of middle class are aspiring for these high-end bikes. Okay, and they have doubled the volume of international business. So from 35,000 bikes, they've now sold about 75,000 bikes in the recent year in the international market. So they actually are going into new geography rather than taking new market share within the country. Okay, so that is the powerful growth trigger for this company. If all of you are clear with this, just type super clear in the comment box. So that is where the traction is. The second company which we are going to learn is FIEM Industries. Now this company is again a very powerful in terms of what they do. So they are basically into LED luminaries and other diversified product portfolio. And they also do rear mirrors and all those things. Okay, so that company, which is FIEM Industry, let's go deeper into it. And by the way, if you want to watch how to find all these monopoly companies like Eicher Motors, you can just go and check it out, my video which I have done. It's called Top 10 Monopoly Businesses and Market Leader Stocks in India. I've initially covered the process also, like how to think about all these companies and how they are powerful. In fact, let me also show Excel of this entire thing, right? So before we even go to the second company, see, what I was talking about Eicher Motor is this. So they are consistently, into very high margin. Okay, they are doing excellent ROE. So if you watch this, ratio analysis, you'll understand what they are doing. So they are doing crazy ROE. Okay, so they are doing superb ROE, superb ROC, and also their capital turnover and efficiency and profit margins are like crazy. Okay, so this template I actually use to do a lot of these sector analysis and company analysis. If you want to download this template, I'll just give you this template also. So just download it here, technofunda.co/excel. If you already have, if you watch my video regularly, you might already have it. Okay. But this is the first company. Now let's come to the second company, which is FIEM Industry, which I was talking about, is into different LED lights and rear mirrors and all those auto ancillary space basically. Okay. So this is like different components which are assembling into auto, and this is a beneficiary in that way. So it manufactures rear mirrors and lot of these LED lights, which is going into different kind of automobile space. Okay. So let me show you what are the top clients. So if you see the slide, the top two-wheeler clients are Honda, TVS, Yamaha, Suzuki, Royal Enfield, Eicher Motors, basically Harley Davidson and Mahindra. So now a lot of people, they try to pinpoint one particular two-wheeler to ride as a proxy. But if you actually want to ride this as a proxy, this is a great way, because two-wheelers are the major market. These guys pretty much cater to all the two-wheeler guys. And they are also, not getting disrupted by EV, because even if you have electric vehicle, you will need a light, you will need, your rear mirror. Without that, you will not be able to ride your car. So this company is not getting disrupted by, EV also. They have like entire clientele across the value chain. And they also have like four-wheeler clients like Tata, Marco Polo, Force Motors, Honda Seal, Hyundai, Daimler, and all those guys. And they've been growing exponentially in their journey, but there are some important changes also which are happening in this particular company. Okay, are you ready for this? And hope you are taking notes. As I said, these are all like nuggets of nectar which I'm giving you after extracting. Okay, so the first play, as I said, it's covering the major portion of auto industry, and it's a good proxy of riding a two-wheeler space. It's not getting disrupted by EV, and most importantly, it's a sole supplier of Ola Electric, which is, making it headwinds very, very quickly. So Ola Electric is not a listed play, but if you want to play a proxy play on Ola Electric, this is again a very good example where you can consider riding it. So that's where, the growth triggers for the future are coming in. Okay. So this is the second company which we have discussed, and hope it's making sense and you are able to understand this. Okay. Now let's come to the third company. Now third company is one of my favorite, and a quick disclosure, it's also right now part of my portfolio also. It's called Balkrishna Industry. So this is again a proxy of the entire tire industry. Now the good thing about it is it's a niche player. Remember, in the initial part of the sector analysis in this video, I discussed the second pillar, that you need to find companies which are insanely profitable in the entire sector. And they are very, very niche, and it's very difficult to compete with these guys. Why it is very difficult to compete with these guys is because they are making customized tires. Okay, some big agri tires, industrial tires, which is not easy to make in a traditional assembly line. So it requires a lot of effort to actually customize each and every tire, and they have so many SKUs, like so many number of variations, that any other player will not get incentivized to do this. Okay, so it's like off-road tire and a lot of customized agri tires and everything they are manufacturing. So that is where this company becomes really interesting. Now, the interesting triggers about this company is like, this is a debt-free business. Okay, it doesn't have any debt, and the management is so, strategic that every 2-3 years, only when the last capex is done and they are like stable in their balance sheet, then only they go for the next capex. So they are not unnecessarily aggressive. At the same time, they continuously keep doing capex as and when it is required. In fact, as we speak, I think they are also doing one more capex. If I remember correctly, it's around 1700 crore kind of capex they are doing, if I remember correctly. Okay. Now this is like a lowest cost producer in the world. So this is the moat. Okay. This is the moat of the company, that it's the lowest cost producer in the oligopoly market. And another moat is the, way they are producing the tire. It's very, very niche, and not many people can make it. So there are very few players across the world. There are not many players doing the same thing, and Balkrishna Industries is one of the low-cost player. Now, this company is a global player supplying to more than 160 countries. And right now they have 5 to 6% market share. So there is so much of room where they can grow their market share. And they have a very flexible cost structure, and around 70% of orders comes from replacement market. So it's like an ongoing, demand that keeps on happening. Now, the interesting thing is, although it is a lowest cost player, okay, but the margins are even higher than the top market leader, which is Michelin. Okay. So that is what is the powerful, thing about it. Now, one of the member is asking, like, FIEM has already run up, but if you see, it is just breaking out. It has just created a super base and it's just breaking out. Okay, so when a company is breaking out and forming a base, it's a very powerful thing. Now, if you think about Balkrishna Industry, it is again outperforming Nifty. Okay, so in last 1 year, it is actually outperforming Nifty, and it is also nearing the 52-week high, like almost 20% around the 52-week high. And let's see some of the powerful points around it. Okay, so let me show the Excel, and let's go to Balkrishna Industry Excel. Okay. Now, if you see, they are having insanely high operating margins. If you see this Excel, they have like around 20 to 25% of like ongoing margins, operating margins for a tire company. You open any other tire company, you will not find these kind of margins. And if you see in the ratio analysis also, their ROE and ROCs are insane. Okay, so they are operating at more than 24 ROCs. And their return on equity is on an average 20% ROE. And if you see the debt to equity ratio, almost nil debt. Okay, they don't hold too much of debt most of the times. So this is like the power of these kind of compounding companies. Are you able to relate with this? This is like a compounding engine, and in your life you need these kind of compounding engine which can compound in a great way. And if you want to know 10 more such companies, in our YouTube channel also I've created this video. This is like I think subscription based video. If you have pro membership, you will be able to see this. But if you want to learn about 10 such powerful compounding stocks, you can go through this video. Okay, and if you want to learn this process, what I'm doing, are you interested in learning this process, how to find these kind of players, right? I don't want to just give you knowledge, but I want to make you also independent in terms of finding these ideas. Are you willing to get that knowledge? Just type yes in the comment box. I'll tell you how you can get it. Okay, so there is a course which I have, which is called TechnoFunda Investing Formula. Okay, and this is again for somebody who is not yet part of my community, or if you are part of my community, or if you read my book, you will of course know about this entire process. But if you are just somebody new and want to learn about these formula, you can just go to technofunda.co/basic. And you apply a free coupon code, which is formula. Okay, so this is like 5999 course, which you will be able to get it free once you apply this coupon code. Okay, so is it super cool? Just type super cool in the comment box. Okay, I've posted the links in the chat box as well as in the comment section, or you can just simply go to technofunda.co/basic and then apply a coupon code formula. Okay, you will be able to get it. Now let's come to the next company, which is the fourth company in our analysis. It is called Mahindra and Mahindra. Okay. Now this company is again a very interesting company because they continuously grow in the segments which they operate in. Okay. Now what are the segments? If you read their annual report, again, this is again one more video which you would like to watch, how to read annual report effectively. So they have so much of capex plan that every 2-3 years again they keep having a vision of growing the company and going to the next level. So we'll learn about some of the triggers in this company and how to understand this in a deeper way. So the first trigger is they have an expansion plan of almost like INR 170 billion for the next 3 years, from 22 to 24 as per their recent con call. Now in terms of segment, they have like 55% into automotive segment and remaining like almost 41% into farm equipment segment. So if you know, like recently the rains and everything is good, the overall farm productivity focus is increasing. So this is like a direct beneficiary of that side of the economy also, and automotive as a whole, it is picking up. Now what significant based on the machine formula I told initially, what they have done is they have launched a new Scorpio N model. Okay. And this has got so much of demand, like just before the launch, there was so much of pre-booking and everything. And they are also seeing growth in their two revolutionary models which they have done, that is called XUV 700 and Thar. These are their two powerful models which they are seeing a lot of growth and traction. And that is where this company is very important to analyze and study further. Now in terms of charts also, like if we see in terms of technical analysis, this has just broken out a recent base, and I posted it also recently in my group also. And here, from 928, like just in a matter of 1 month, they have like broken the entire base and given a huge breakout. So right now, this company is also, I think, in the layer of all-time high. And even on a monthly chart, they've broken a very, very big base. Okay, so when both these things combined, remember, I do TechnoFunda investing analysis. Okay, so it's blending of technicals and fundamentals. So that is where this kind of things gets very interesting. When you see a lot of new launches, a lot of traction on the ground, a lot of new capex which is coming up, mega trend in place, sector tailwinds, and at the same time the company is showing very good price volume action, the entire base is breaking out. That is where you find really good opportunities if you combine both these things technically and fundamentally. Okay, so the early signs is given by technicals, and I showed you some of the price volume action I've been getting since last 1 month, in fact. And then you study the fundamentals and try to apply those principles. Okay, if you resonate with this and you are able to understand these principles, just type clear in the comment box. Just type clear in the comment box. And if you want to know the advantage of this, you can watch one of these videos in my channel itself, how to outperform Nifty returns. So by doing this, how you can actually outperform Nifty, I've like given a detailed roadmap around it. Okay, so hope this is useful, and let's go to the next company. Okay, so the next company after Mahindra and Mahindra is again a proxy of this industry. Okay, so the proxy company is called Schaeffler India. Now this company is not a traditional auto company as such. Okay, it's into industrial bearings and a lot of things they are doing on EV space also, and they are also proxy of automobile. So it's like a multiple sector. It is a tailwind. So this is like a MNC company, and it's again a consistent compounder. I'll show you in the Excel how it is consistently compounding in their journey, and it's a proxy play of automobile and the industrial growth. Now, because this pickup has happened in industrial and automobile industry, there is so much of demand of bearings and a lot of other products they are making. And also they are all, going to a proxy play of EV industry as such. Okay, so this is like a very good play which you can also bet on slight EV, bearing, industrial pickup and automobile as a whole. Now, let me show you the Excel and let's see how this company has been compounding. Okay, let me see if we can bring out Schaeffler. So Schaeffler, again, amazing operating margins, amazing net margins, and the best thing is this is also like a MNC company with almost zero debt. You see the kind of ROEs they've been clocking recently. Okay, so around 18% ROE, and on this entire journey they've been making like 20 to 25% return on capital employed. Okay, there were 1 or 2 years during COVID and all where they were not really up to the mark, but then they've again picked it up. So this is where, these kind of companies actually are the wealth creators. And if you see Schaeffler's chart also, it is like a 45-degree compounding companies. Okay, so from 2009, 44 rupees, it has now become 2,500 rupees. This is the power of mega trend. When a company continuously keep compounding, this is how it creates wealth. Okay, so this is a classic case study, and if you observe this chart also, it is also making a new high, new all-time high, lifetime high it is making. Okay, it broke a base over here around 1100 rupees, and within a year it has again doubled, and this is like again continuously compounding. And in our community, we have entire module of core portfolio screening, where we actually do this exercise, and then we have an implementation program called Hackathon, where we find all these kind of compounding companies, so that you just need to write them and have a proper risk management system, and that should be it. Okay. If you are finding this so far interesting, just what I would request all of you is just hit a thumbs up, so that I know you are finding this interesting. Awesome. So, and if you, by the way, not liked or subscribed this channel, please do it, so that you can get notification and you can, actually get so many such ideas and analysis which we are doing on a continuous basis. Okay. Now let's come to the next company, which is called Lumax Industry. Okay. And Lumax Industry is again a proxy play. Okay, it's not a direct play. Of course, it is into value chain, but it's not an OEM as such. What I mean by proxy play, it caters to underlying sector, and what all things it does is this. Okay, I'll just show you the screen, and these are some of the triggers which are currently taking place inside this company. So the first thing is, this is a very powerful beneficiary of China Plus One. Remember, initially I talked about key triggers in this particular sector, and it is also an import substitution theme. So a lot of products which they are making was earlier imported from China, and this is like a import substitution thing. And they are also doing new capex and new products in the existing categories. So that is again the new of the machine which I talked to you about, that is happening. And if you see on the technical charts, it's again mind blowing. Okay, it's like going crazy, just breaking out base as we are speaking. It's just breaking out base with a very, very high volume on a monthly chart, on a weekly chart, and on a daily chart. Okay, so this combination is like very, very powerful. If you have all the three time frames across which it is breaking out of the base, you don't need to ignore it. Okay, and that is where you tend to get a lot of new ideas and a lot of powerful aspects around it. Now, if you are not part of my channel, okay, Telegram channel, I'll just quickly give you the link so that you can participate. I shared some of these ideas in my channel also. You can just go to technofunda.co/telegram. Okay, just go to this link, technofunda.co/telegram, and you can actually get all these ideas on my channel. There are a lot of other fake channels on Forex and all that, so make sure you only go to this channel. It is TechnoFunda_investing. Okay, so don't get into any crypto and all those channels. I don't do any of the crypto stuff or Forex and all those things. Okay, so this is the Lumax Industry analysis. Now let's come to the final company. Which is the final company? Any guesses? So the final company is called Minda Industry. Okay, so like you might have seen the Chak De movie. So Chak De movie, there is a dialogue by Shah Rukh Khan that ये मैच में मैं आपको नहीं बताऊंगा कैसे खेलना है, आपको बताना है कैसे खेलना है मुझे, right? So that is the same thing which is there in this particular video also. So let me know your analysis. This company is again a very powerful case study in terms of emerging triggers, but I want to know from you that what are those triggers. So I would love to have analysis from you guys. In the comment section, please make sure you type your analysis, and then all other members can watch each other's comments, so that you can find a lot of ideas. And also let me know what kind of analysis or sector analysis or a video around financial planning or anything, what topic you would like to see in the next video, so that I can help you in the best possible way to accelerate your journey into your financial freedom. Okay, so let me know in the comment section what is the next video which you would like to see and which topic you want to learn with me. And another thing is, if you have downloaded the Excel, you can also watch this video where I'm giving the process of how to do this analysis. Okay, so Excel is of course there to help you in terms of your analysis. You can watch this video onto my channel and apply that analysis onto Minda Industry, and write in the comment box what key ideas you found in this particular company. Now, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those before we depart, and hope you enjoyed this entire session. If you have not grabbed a copy of my book, just go and search on Amazon You Can Compound, and you'll be able to find a copy of my book also. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. We'll spend some 5 minutes answering your questions, and then we'll officially close this particular session. Yeah. Okay, your views on Olectra Green Tech. I'm not tracking that company effectively, but I feel, there are a lot of better plays than Olectra Green Tech in this particular sector. Okay, so this question was by Pedamala. So thank you for asking that question. Any other question which anyone has in this live session, let me know. Okay, so let me bring in question of Navya. Okay, so Navya is asking, this is already like an all-time high. Can you buy this company now? Okay, so the answer to this is very simple. Each company, okay, you might have seen in Asian Paints or even Schaeffler, how many times that company has gone into all-time high in their life? Multiple times. Okay, so any company which is actually, growing, okay, in their journey, it will undergo, highs multiple times in its journey. Okay, so make sure that you don't get swayed by all those things. You make sure that you ride those companies, because each and every multi-bagger will undergo all-time high, lifetime high multiple times in their life. Yes or no? Okay. Looking pharma is next sector rotation. I feel right now automobile is the next sector rotation. When it comes to my screen, which is this ride winners, I'll just share you. So right now, none of these companies in pharma is coming in my screen, but whenever, pharma company starts popping up, I'll probably get interested. Okay. But right now, no pharma company is coming as such significantly. Okay, it's like very rarely it is coming. Very few companies are coming. So I would right now not get interested. I believe in price volume action, where market should signal me where to go for it. Okay, awesome. Why not Tata Motors? I feel Tata Motors, it's just a cyclical shaker. So I feel you can get a lot other better plays in this sector. Okay. Yeah, Rahul Shah is saying Jamna Auto is also monopoly company. Yeah, that's a good company. I don't deny it. But again, I like to go for much stronger plays. Jamna Auto, based on my analysis, we can go for a satellite play rather than a core portfolio play. Now, also in this particular session also, some of the companies are satellite plays and some of the companies are core plays. Okay, so once you go through my basic course, which I've given as a gift to you, you will understand what is the differentiation between your core play and satellite play, and how to basically play both these things. Okay, superb. SN Sharma is saying, yeah, strong gets stronger, successful trend to continue successful. Absolutely. You are bang on, SN Sharma. Thank you so much for commenting that. So Bharat is asking your views on JK Tire as proxy. Again, see, most of these tire companies don't have any competitive advantage. These are more like a commoditized play. That's why, I've targeted a niche player with a good competitive advantage, which is Balkrishna Industries, rather than any normal tire place. Okay, so that's the reason why I thought that this is a better play. Yeah, CEAT price volume action is also there. So if the entire auto sector is moving up, you will see all the company floating in. But the key is you go with the strongest player, so that when market turns down, you don't lose much and still you get room in terms of earnings growth to grow. Okay, so that's the reason I generally pick up companies which are much stronger. Vinod is asking, what is moat? Moat is basically a competitive advantage which deters a competition from entering into its territory. If you want to know that deeper way, just go to the video which I mentioned, this one. Okay, just go to this video and you will find what is moat and how to think about competitive advantages, and because of moat, how monopolies are created. Okay, so just go and watch. Just search with monopoly video Vivek Mashrani on YouTube and you will find it, or just simply scroll through some of the videos which are there in the entire thing. Okay, So Motherson Wiring, okay, this is a very interesting play again. So it is a demerged entity of Motherson Sumi. And if you see the return ratios and everything is fantastic, you should definitely track this company. And I am positive about this company. Again, not a recommendation or anything, but definitely it's a very interesting demerger play which you should watch out for. Okay. Your view on Philip Carbon indirect connect with auto. Again, these are all commoditized play. You know, I generally don't like to play a proxy which is commoditized in nature. The reason we go for a proxy is to find a stronger player, not a commoditized player. Okay. Yeah, Rishabh is saying Rolex ring is also good. Yeah, it's emerging. Let's see how it goes. Again, this would be like a satellite play. Ashok Leyland, again, CV thing is picking up, but again, they have high debt in my view. So just be careful on those lines. You will get a better play in this space. Okay. At what percentage we should invest in these? So yeah, again, you know, if you want to know the entire breakup and how, you know, I do this entire structuring, just go to this video. Okay. How to outperform Nifty returns, and you will understand how to position itself. Okay. Okay, what about Bajaj Finance in comparison with Chola? So I personally like Chola. Bajaj Finance is also a very good, strong company, but I personally prefer Chola. Okay, that's again my view, not a recommendation. You can go for whatever it is. Yash is saying Renuka sugar or sugar sector. Just go and watch a video on my channel. It's sugar sector analysis. Just type sugar sector analysis Vivek Mashrani and you will find it. You will get your answer. Okay. Awesome. Rishabh Mahajan is saying auto paint as proxy. Yeah, it's a good proxy. If you are able to find a very strong competitive advantage, you should definitely take it seriously. What are your views about Ola? I think Ola is doing great in two-wheeler space, and that's where FIEM is a good proxy play. It should again not be a part of core portfolio. It should be like a satellite position in my view. But you can check out again the module which I have shared and understand more deeper into it. Auto Finance by Arman Financial. I'm not tracking this closely, but if you have any views, happy to know. FIEM is already down from its top. Oh, you are talking about probably 2-3% down and all those things. That's not what we do as an investor. Okay, so if you see FIEM Industry, it's like from 1600 rupees, it's like 1500 rupees, which is like not like 10% down. Okay, so if you watch for 2% move and all those things, better do trading rather than investing. Okay, but you should give a bigger room, okay, to these companies. How to identify company at its nascent stage before it started flying high? Okay, so this is a very good question. I would tell you, if you want to learn this, you can join one of my masterclass. I actually go deep dive into this entire process. So you can go to technofunda.co/live. And I'll explain to you how to find all these companies in the initial stage and then how to ride this entire bigger trend. Okay. Awesome. So hope today's session was useful. I think we have pretty much answered all the questions. Rajiv is saying, whether steel industry will be benefited. Now, steel might be very small component of the overall auto sector industry. Okay. So you need to see like how much percentage of steel sector is going into the auto sector, because it's a very broad based industry. So you need a focused approach if you want to play the proxy play. Okay. So hope this session was useful, guys, and thank you so much for being till the end. Really appreciate it. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please don't forget to do that. And if you are not following me on Twitter, please follow me at @Vivek Mashrani, and happy to share ideas on Twitter as well. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for being here till the end, and we'll see you in the next session. Don't forget to, bookmark and, comment all the things which I mentioned you, and let me know also which video you want to see next in your journey. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Take care and have a remaining amazing evening. Bye-bye.